The type of book that you choose to read with your child is going to depend on the reason that you're choosing it. If you're choosing a book that you're going to read to your child, you're going to be sure that you're choosing a book that that child cannot read to themselves. So you're going to look for something about a year or two ahead of them. Not much more than that, because their listening comprehension isn't going to be more than about 2 years ahead of where their actual reading comprehension is. So if you're trying to read a Harry Potter book to a 2-year-old, they're not going to understand it. Likewise, a 10-year-old is not going to appreciate you reading Junie B. Jones to them because it's not a good fit for them. But when you're trying to help your child choose a book that they're going to read, there's something that teachers refer to as the 5-finger rule. That works pretty well if there's about 100 words on the page. You have the child start reading, and if they get to the end of the page and they put up one finger each time they make a mistake or don't know a word, this is where you kind of have to watch, though, because sometimes kids think that they're reading that book the right way, and whenever you're looking at the words, you're realizing that they're making some mistakes that they don't catch. So you can kind of in the background be doing that too. If you get to more than 5 fingers before you get to 100 words, then you know that that's not an okay book for that child to be reading to themselves. That's one that you need to be there supporting them or reading to them. There is really no book that a child can pick up and say, oh, I really want to hear the story. If they're pumped about that story, find a way to get it to them. Either them reading it, you reading it together, or you reading it to them. Because the worst feeling in the world is to be told that you can't have that story now. Now, there is some content that is not going to be appropriate for all or for all age levels of kids. As a parent, you have to monitor that, of course, like anything else, like any other kind of TV show or movie. But with books, how you use books will depend on that level of that book and that child. Another question that I've had with parents is, okay, well, I've got 3 kids. What kind of book can I read to them all? An author by the name of Jim Trelease has done extensive studying on reading aloud with children. And I love the way he put it. He explains it like this. If your children can't wear the same underwear, you shouldn't be reading them the same book. So if you have a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and an 8-year-old, you're not going to be able to find one book that's going to fit that whole group of kids. You're going to have to read one book to the 3-year-old, one book to the 6-year-old, and a different book with the 8-year-old. And that's just how it is until those kids get a little bit older.